Good day, everyone. My name is Sera Sameon, and on behalf of my team members, I would like to present our paper research entitled Investigating User Awareness and Consent Practice for Individual Privacy in Smart Building Environments for EIA 2025. Smart building and the privacy challenges as an introduction. We know that smart building integrate advanced technologies consists of the IoT devices that including sensors to enhance functionality, efficiencies, and user experience. The continuous data collections from this advanced technology necessitates robust privacy regulation to safeguard individuals' rights. The rapid adoption of smart building technologies often outpace the development of appropriate privacy safeguards, leading to regulatory gaps and exposing users to significant data risks. This project involved reviewing regulations, assessing user knowledge through the questionnaire, and developing recommendations to improve consent practice. First, we want to see the disconnect between compliance and awareness uh, that through this smart building and the um, users. Privacy in smart building involves safeguarding individuals' personal information and behavioral data within digitally connected environments. Study shows that users often do not fully understand the term of data collections or consent mechanism employed in smart building. A prior study in commercial smart building revealed that only about 20% of residents and just 7.5% of non-residents could correctly identify the type of data being collected. This disconnect suggests that compliance alone is insufficient. User empowerment must be central to privacy strategy. Informed consent management is a critical layer in safeguarding the privacy, emphasizing the transparency and the user agency. So this is the challenges in data handling within smart building. There are three issues we identified. First is transparency in data collection, where users require robust policies and regulations to govern the smart building data and demanding full information about how the data is collected, utilized, and being protected. The second issue that we identified is on the risk of identifiable information integration, PII. The expanding scope of data collections raised concerns about sourcing of the PII from various sources, merging the data, increasing the likelihood of identifying occupants. And last one is on the correlation risk. The threat that separate dataset, even if anonymized or aggregated, can be linked to infer sensitive or identifiable information about these individuals or reveal private routines. Because of that, we need to know what is the privacy properties. Privacy properties are specific attributes within a system that upholds individuals' privacy rights. So we divided these privacy properties into two categories, safeguarding the privacy and user controls and transparency. Under the safeguarding privacy, we will look into the unlinkability, anonymity, plausible deniability, and undetectability. While for user control and transparency, we will, of course, to look on the confidentiality and access controls of the users. And then on the content awareness and transparency. And last one on the consent compliance and management. Legal guidance for smart building data. The collections and processing of occupant data can pose a threat to individual privacy, necessitating legal frameworks such as Personal Data Protection Act, PDPA. This act is used in Malaysia, while GDPR is used in European Union remain one of the most comprehensive and influential privacy regulation globally, governing the collection, storage, and processing of personal data in smart building. In California, the act is CCPA, California Consumer Privacy Act, also governs data collection in the US. Non-compliance with this act can result in severe penalties and reputational damage. For the in Malaysia, the Personal Data Protection Code of Practice is under the Communication and Multimedia Act 1998, require data users to obtain consent. The exception to this consent can be for certain scenarios, including fulfilling contractual obligations, complying with legal responsibility, protecting vital interests of the data subject, examples like in locating a missing person, and administering justice or performing duties under the law. For this study, okay, we investigate the human dimensions of privacy. What is the aim? First, to identify and evaluate relevant rules and regulations governing consent practice in smart building. Then, we analyze user awareness and perception regarding privacy and their right through empirical investigations. Last is to propose the guideline to enhance the consent practice within this environment. So for this study, we employ this methodology. The design is using quantitative that is survey-based research. Our focus is to assess the awareness levels related to 6 key privacy properties, that is data transparency, consent compliance, anonymity or pseudonymity, data minimization, security measures, and unleakability. The sampling is non-probability, purposive sampling focus on urban Malaysia users with 128 valid responses for sampling size. So this is our finding, okay, on the user understanding of data collection and control. We focus on 3 things, that is data transparency, consent compliance, and user control. For data transparency, we found out that approximately 62% of respondents were somewhat aware of data collection, but only 30% could specifically identify the nature of the data being collected. Examples like this data is for energy usage or location tracking. So what do we interpret from these results is the basic awareness exists there, but the detailed understanding is lacking. The next focus is on consent compliance. The finding is 50% recall seeing consent form, but we can interpret that despite seeing forms, only 22% claim fully understand the implication of granting consent. Not everyone understands what is the consent form for. Another focus under this user understanding is user control. 68% admitted that they know how to withdraw or change their consent once given, highlighting limited user controls. But the rest is still not aware on this. Under trust and perceptions of data scope, our focus is on anonymity and pseudonymity and also on data minimizations. For anonymity and pseudonymity, the finding of this study, only 28% of respondents believe their identity was effectively anonymized in smart building systems. A large number of respondents still not believe on this. Concern were expressed over the use of identifiable access tools like facial recognition, RFID cards, which may still allow user tracking. And for another focus is data minimizations. Less than half, that can be said 47% of participants believe only necessary data was being collected. We give the open-ended questions and their response suggested user perceive system as gathering data just in case, implying an absence of strict minimization policies. And under the confidence in protection mechanism, there are two focus: perceived security measures. We found out that confidence in security was low. Only 36% of respondents agreed that smart building system included strong cybersecurity measure. Concern included unauthorized access, civilian misuse, and lack of use notification in the event of data breach. And another focus is on unleakability and data correlation risk. Only 19% of respondents had prior knowledge to the term unleakability. Very small number of it. A mere 12% felt confident that the system is placed prevented their data from being cross-correlated with other sources, meaning that a large number of users still not confident. The interpretation we can give here is substantial gap in public understanding of advanced privacy concept and correlation risk. Okay, based on that finding, we can see the gap can be identified and we want to recommend a guideline. So first we look on the data transparency for the privacy dimensions. We identify that lack of clarity and inconsistent communication of data usage and policy updates. So we recommend that to use a clear and plain language as per said in GDPR Recital 58, utilize the visuals aid and provide transparency at the point of use. The next privacy dimension is on consent compliance. The gap that we can identify is the consent is viewed as static, lack of mechanism for revocations or informed agreements. So it is recommended to ensure consent is freely given, informed and specific. Make withdrawal as simple as giving consent, highlight purpose, risk and automated processing. The next one on the data minimizations, it can be seen that perception of excessive or unnecessary data collections. So the guideline should recommend to limit the collection to data strictly necessary data for the service. Clearly state what is collected, for how long and why this data is being collected. Next is on the security measure. The gaps, low awareness of breach protocol and security communications. So for this, we recommend a guideline to apply redundancy, disaster recovery, and conduct data protection impact assessment, GDPR, for high-risk process. Regularly update user on the security features. And for the anonymity and unleakability, the user are still unclear of this, still unknown of this term. So this is the gap, unclear protection status, because the user have lack understanding of profiling and cross-device tracking. So we recommend the guideline to have or to allow for anonymous, pseudonymous access, enable ongoing, that is a dynamic consent when device or condition change, educate user on the profiling risk. So to foster this privacy-aware smart building ecosystem, the study revealed that while general privacy awareness exists in Malaysia, significant gap persists in user understanding of consent procedure, control over the personal data, and the perceived effectiveness of existing regulation in the Malaysia context. There is an urgent need for more robust, transparent, and user-centric privacy policies within this smart infrastructure. So because of that, this is the key policy recommendations based on the gap and the survey results that we do the process before. Okay, the first one is to develop clearer regulatory guidelines on informed consent specific to automated environments. Second, to implement stronger enforcement mechanism under existing framework. Examples like in Malaysia, PDPA. Third is mandate transparency practice such as accessible privacy notice or real-time consent dashboard within smart building system. And last one, sponsor public awareness campaign to educate user on their privacy right and data protection framework. If you have a same research area, so you can contact me at sera@unitem.edu.my. Thank you.